Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time and I have a reason why. And if you follow me on Instagram, then you already know that I am pregnant. My first trimester is officially over, so I'm going to discuss all of that in this video. Now I'm just going to say that this is only about the first trimester, nothing about how I found out, anything about the father, anything about my birthing plan. Those topics and questions will be answered like in future videos, but this is just going to cover my pregnancy the past 3 months. So I'm currently 14, let me get my phone. According to my app, I am currently 14 weeks and 3 days. So every Friday, I'm like in a new week. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go over like all of the symptoms, everything I've been experiencing. So let's get into it. So the first thing is I was extremely tired. I literally slept all day, went to work at night, and did it all over again. I didn't leave the house. I didn't do anything. I didn't go anywhere. I was just overwhelmed with fatigue and exhaustion. Even just getting up to like go to the kitchen to try to eat, it was just too much for me. Like I'll walk to the kitchen and then just go back in my bed and go to sleep. So I was extremely tired. And then I also had a lot of morning sickness and nausea. Apparently it's like there's a difference. I never actually vomited or threw up or anything. I always felt like it and I wanted to make myself throw up because the nausea was so bad and I just wanted like relief. So that would happen throughout the day randomly. I think it probably stopped around like the 12 week mark was when I really noticed that my nausea was completely gone. Didn't feel sick at all. My breast. Okay, so my boobs were so sore. So like the week before I found out I was pregnant, I was experiencing period symptoms, which actually turned out to be pregnancy symptoms. So my boobs were a little bit sore the week before I found out, but right after I found out I was pregnant, my boobs hurt so bad. Like I couldn't hug. It just hurt. Like even sometimes I would wake up crying in the middle of the night because my breasts were so sore. And I couldn't even sleep on my stomach. Like I am a stomach sleeper. Like that's more comfortable for me. That's how I enjoy my rest. And I couldn't even like sleep on my stomach because my boobs were so sore. And sometimes I would even like sleep with a heating pad like on my chest to sleep because I just needed relief. Like they just hurt so badly. And also along with sore breasts, my boobs also gotten bigger, obviously, because they're preparing for all of that business. And with that, it's so funny, like I've actually had to like tuck, like I would like my boobs would get like under my arm and I would have to like move my breasts aside just so I can like comfortably put my arms to my side. So that's one thing I really noticed about them. My friend, I didn't see her for a few weeks before she found out, and so when she finally saw me, like that was the first thing she noticed, was that my breasts had gotten a little bit larger. And obviously they'll get bigger from here, and I ain't mad at it. And then also, so I've had cramping as well. So like I told you before about me experiencing the period symptoms, I've always cramped during my menstrual cycle, like always. And so I just thought I was just starting my period. But when I didn't start and the cramping continued, apparently that's normal. And I talked to my doctor about it. She said it's just like my uterus stretching and like just preparing for the baby to grow and things like that. So I did experience cramping and that stopped. I don't remember when that stopped, but it's been maybe like 2 or 3 weeks before like it like really stopped. And also I needed to drink more water. I think a lot of that has contributed to the fact that I was cramping, is that I wasn't getting enough water because the baby takes all of it from you, and so I wasn't putting enough in, and so yeah, that was happening. And also headaches. I was having a lot of headaches, but once I started drinking more water, the headaches would subside a little bit. So I also had light spotting. The first time I had light spotting after I found out I was pregnant, I was like really scared, and I don't know, I just, because you know, like, bleeding is not supposed to happen when you're pregnant, so I was just like really nervous about that. But once again, I was assured that that's normal, it happens, and I haven't had any spotting since about about 7 weeks. So it's been a while since I had spotting, so that's over with, and now it's been replaced with discharge. So there's that. Also, I've had crazy wild dreams. Like I was told that dreams will get more like vivid and frequent and all of that jazz. And I've never been a dreamer. Like, I would dream occasionally, but it was just something that just didn't happen for me or to me or whatever. But now I have dreams frequently. They're very, very vivid and clear. So that's an interesting symptom, but yeah, definitely experienced that one. Also food aversions. So I didn't really have an increase in appetite. I actually lost my appetite. I didn't want to eat. I didn't feel like eating. I didn't feel hungry. So for, I say up until like 8-9 weeks, I didn't really want to eat. I didn't feel like eating, so I didn't. But I did take prenatals, which you can't be dependent on prenatals, even though it does provide the minerals and vitamins and nutrients and whatnot. It does not provide significant amounts of calories, and you need calories to be like a person, to be alive and function, because calories give you energy. So I'm pretty sure all of that just wasn't helping the fact that I was already exhausted and then not eating, so I didn't have any energy. So that was just like what was going on a couple weeks ago. But now I'm eating, not as much as I feel like I should, but I eat, okay? And as far as craving goes, I wouldn't say that I have like any specific cravings. I've always had cravings. I've always liked food and eating. So that hasn't really changed. Oh, skin. So my nose a couple weeks ago got like extremely dry and flaky. I mean like flaky. Like it was just like right around the nostrils. It was so bad. And then right after that kind of cleared up, I had like breakouts like on this lower part of my chin here. Like really small breakouts, like whitehead type of breakouts. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just very like, it was just like very, very, very small bumps. And yeah, and prior to being pregnant, I had breakouts all the time, like on my cheeks and even occasionally like in my T-zone area, but it was just mostly my cheeks. Now I don't really have those breakouts per se. It's just this rough patch right up in the jawline area. So I did notice that. And then another thing is that, oh, my phone, is that I've gotten a lot of unsolicited advice, like current pregnant women telling me what I can and cannot do while I'm pregnant. And while I appreciate the effort, I was like, come on now, like I'm still functioning, like can I just please be a person, please. And then another thing is people won't let me forget that I'm pregnant, which is hilarious to me. So after I made like my Instagram, Facebook announcement, I didn't really want to be that person on social media that always talks about her baby, always talking about being pregnant. I didn't really want to be that person because those people are slightly annoying, okay? So after I posted it, I kind of tried to not subconsciously, I tried to make an effort not to be like, oh, this baby or this pregnancy. So I would post things like things that I feel like Shelby would have posted if Shelby wasn't pregnant. So I posted things like about me eating pizza, and people were like, well, now you're eating for two, and just like bringing up my pregnancy and me being extra lazy and wanting to bring a chair to the kitchen sink to wash dishes is like, well, you're pregnant now, so you have an excuse to do that. Or it's funny, I even posted a selfie because I really haven't been posting any pictures of myself on social media, but I posted a selfie on my Snap story, no, my IG story. And you know, I'm trying to be out here looking cute and glowing and whatnot. And somebody responded, was like, but we want to see that baby bump though. And I'm like, dang, like, people don't care about Shelby no more. Like, they just want to know about what's going on with my pregnancy, with the baby, which I appreciate, which I love. So I am going to do more update, more baby things like that, but I don't want to like overdo it, and I don't want this whole channel or my whole Instagram to be consumed with like a mommy blog or anything like that. So, but we'll see how that goes. I've only had 2 doctor's appointments so far, so I'm going to talk about those appointments. So my first appointment, I was 9 weeks and 6 days, and the baby was measuring at 10 weeks, and the baby daddy's calling. Hello? I'm in the middle of recording this video. Okay, so yeah, so I was 9 weeks, 6 days. The baby was measuring at 10 weeks and 1 day. So I had the transvaginal ultrasound, which is when they stick this tubular situation, think like a tampon times like 3 or 4, into the vagina, and that's how they measure your cervix and see where the baby is and all that information. So she told me the egg came from the right side, which really doesn't mean anything, but she could tell. Science. So I saw the baby and we saw the heartbeat. So we saw the actual heartbeat thingy. And actually I have a picture of it. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to show you the picture of it. I don't feel like finding it. But anyways, so, and then also okay, we don't know the sex yet of the baby, but I'm going to call it a she because I really want a girl. But she was such a wiggle worm. Like, she was like moving, and I mean, obviously she was like on her back, so like she was like doing this number right here. So that was really cool, and I credit all the Red Bulls I was drinking before I found out I was pregnant. So she was a little hyper up in there. So yeah, that was really cool, and actually seeing the baby made it so much more real for me. And I cried because it was just like, wow, like this is real life. Like there's an actual human growing inside of me. Like, oh my gosh, like, woo. It was like happy tears and emotional tears, and this is real life tears. It was just a lot, but for me it was a beautiful moment to actually, for the first time, because it was 4 weeks. I had to wait 4 weeks for my first appointment after I found out I was pregnant. So for 4 weeks, I didn't know what was going on inside of me. I just knew I was sick, and you know what I'm saying? So to actually see why all of that was happening to my body was just like, I don't know, it was just so beautiful. So then after the transvaginal ultrasound, I had a pap smear, and that was the end of that appointment. And then my second appointment was like 20 days after. So what was that, like 9, 10, 11, it's like 12 weeks, almost 13 weeks pregnant. And so I had, the first thing we talked about was insurance. And so it's just like, she just went over insurance, like money, all that boring stuff. But they also gave us like a thing that came with like gift cards and just stuff, and I'm grateful. But so we did that, and then afterwards we oh yeah, we actually heard the baby's heartbeat. So the first appointment we only saw the baby's heartbeat, and it was at 168. It was at 168. But the second appointment we actually heard it. And then after that I had the urine and blood test, which I was completely overwhelmed with emotions. I hate getting my blood drawn. It just gives me anxiety, and I just cried a little bit, and she did it, and it was done, and it was over with, and they made it. So yeah, so that has been my first 3 months, and I'm actually starting to feel a lot better. Like, I have more energy. Like, I was gonna make an entire like surprise like video, like, you know, announcing my pregnancy, and I had like no energy, no time. Like, I didn't feel like setting up these lights and this camera and doing all of this. My room was a mess. I ain't had nowhere for no tripod to go, like all of that. So now I'm at that place where I'm like, woo, I can make videos again. Like, my room is clean again. My life, you know, I can get some sun now. Winter's gone, you know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. If you have any more questions, please leave them down below, because I can either include them in other topical videos, such as how I found out, or I don't know, any other questions. Just leave them down below, and I could probably do like a separate Q&A or whatever the case may be. Also, if you want to go ahead and see exactly how I was feeling and how I feel now about my pregnancy, please check out my blog. I'll put like a card right here that you can click on, so you can click and read on my blog all of my feelings of what was going on during that time. So yes, my first trimester is officially over. Oh, my due date is November 3rd. Baby's gonna be a Scorpio. I don't really believe in all of that. I just thought I'd throw it out there. But hopefully the baby's born in November and not in October, especially not on Halloween. Especially. Oh, I have a question. So for mommies out there who have kids, what was your original due date, and when did your baby actually come? Like, did your baby come, like, how many days before the due date or how many days after the due date did your baby come? Like, I would love to know, just so, I mean, babies, they come when they're ready, or they come for unforeseen circumstances. I understand, I get that. So I just kind of want an idea of, like, you know, when my baby's coming, because November 3rd is not guaranteed, but, you know, I'm still excited. So yeah, that's about all. Oh, let me show you my bump. I forgot my bump. Okay, let me. So here it is. Right there. Right there. So this is the front. This side. Much to show this way. Oh, and okay, gosh, crap. Okay, and another thing that hopefully I'm in focus, if not, oh well. But another thing I forgot to mention is that I feel like my bump started showing maybe about 3 weeks ago, but I call it a peekaboo bump because in the morning it's not as big as it is at night. Like, at night it's like full-fledged, can't button my pants, like, it's out there. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, where'd my baby go? Apparently, like, that's because, like, 1, in the morning, like, you haven't really eaten through the night, and then I read that it's like your muscles are like loosening like throughout the day, so like your stomach is like getting like more and more relaxed, so it's getting bigger. So yeah, I don't know like when it'll like actually stay that size and be that size, but right now, like, throughout the day, like, my bump varies. Like, it's not, some days, some mornings, some days it's burrito belly, and then the other days it's like, okay, she might be pregnant. Yeah. And then other symptoms that I totally forgot to mention was, like, I salivate a lot. Is that a word? I don't know. Like, my mouth produces a lot of saliva, and I don't know what to do with it. So that happens. Anyway, so I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.